LeBron James. Everybody's favorite player. He is now the NBA points champion. Passed Kareem Abdul-Jabbar last night in a game in which the Lakers lost. Keyword. Don't mean a thing without that ring, right? Well, they lost that game last night, but nevertheless, I digress. You know, everybody's starting the debate up again, and of course it's going to keep happening. LeBron and MJ. MJ and LeBron. Who's the best? I don't know. Let me refresh your memory, and I have these stats ready for you. If you go to stathead.com, you can actually compare face-to-face LeBron James and Michael Jordan and their numbers and who did better, who did worse. I'll tell you what, there are two reasons why LeBron James has this scoring record, and the main one really is the style of the game today. No physicality, no defense, no players can't even touch one another. Touch somebody, it's a foul. Right away, go to the free throw line. And two, the rise of the three-point shot. Michael Jordan played in the triangle offense. Everything was to the basket, not away from the basket. To it, converge in, and score. LeBron James averages almost 5 3-point attempts per game. Jordan, only 2. So Jordan barely shot threes. All of his points were inside. Averaged 30 points per game. That's still the record in the NBA. And put up 32,000 in rather limited time because of walking away from the game, walking away again. LeBron's just been a consistent guy all the time. Look, you could reward consistency, and LeBron James is probably going to end up being the second best player in NBA history. Probably already is already. I mean, he holds the record now. But is LeBron James actually better? Like, when you sit down, do you really think, and when you watch LeBron play, do you think, wow, this is Michael Jordan level? This is greatness that I'm watching. He is revolutionizing the game of basketball. All of that's kind of a sound no. Steph Curry has revolutionized the game of basketball. He has. Everybody shoots threes now because of him. LeBron has revolutionized the game off the court because of him. All these teams are weaker now. We have super teams, and now only 2 superstars at a minimum can play on a team, or else the team's going to suck. He made everybody beg and plead and beg and say, hey, we need to be on a team together, or else we're not going to be good. Go ask Michael Jordan if he ever thought about teaming up with Magic Johnson or Larry Bird, or begging the commissioner to put them together on a team so they could win. There was competition. There was care put into these performances from players. Michael Jordan would have never gotten on his knees and begged Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade to join him on the Heat in 2010, like LeBron did. Michael Jordan would have never said, hey, Charles Barkley, Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, I have an idea. Let's put all of us together, come to the Bulls, or we'll go to any team, really, LA, Boston, Miami. We'll come all together, we'll be in one team, and we'll dominate the NBA for 10 years. Didn't happen. And here's the kicker. LeBron James did that, still didn't win as many championships as you all think he did. And Michael's a perfect 6-0 in the NBA Finals. LeBron's 4-6. So don't give me that whole LeBron James is better now. He has the record. You know, sometimes, and you're talking to somebody who loves numbers and loves statistics. I bashed Scott Rowland 2 weeks ago for getting in the Hall of Fame with no numbers, but I will say this. Sometimes the numbers aren't everything. Just because LeBron James hung around for 20 years and scored 2,000 points a season or 1,500 every year for 20 years doesn't necessarily mean that he's better than Michael Jordan. It just means that he lasted longer, teamed up with good players, won a couple of finals along the way, found a way to preserve his body in a sport that's now softer than ever. Softer than Downey. That's what it is, the NBA. That's what the NBA is now. And that's the league that LeBron James grew up in and played in and has thrived in and is still thriving in. Michael Jordan, it was physical. Punch in the mouth physical. Run you over physical. Hand check physical. Getting hit on the hand and no foul being called physical. No three-pointers physical, meaning that every single shot went to the basket inside. Michael Jordan going up against Patrick Ewing with his giant hands in front of his face. Making shots all day long. See what I mean? It's a completely different game. And I could tell you this, and I can guarantee you this. If Michael Jordan played in today's NBA, he would have 40,000 points. He'd have 50,000 points. Michael would be doing unbelievable things that we wouldn't even imagine because nobody would even be guarding him. He'd be standing there at the three-point line, standing at the elbow, free throw line, shooting shots, wondering where the hell the defense is. It wouldn't even be fun to him. He'd probably quit because it wouldn't be challenging enough to him. That's what would happen to Michael Jordan if he played in today's NBA. He would quit because it wouldn't be enough of a challenge. It'd be too easy. So when you ask me, or when we start this debate, because we're going to hear it now forever since LeBron James has this record, who's the better players, LeBron or MJ? I point you to everything I just said. Different era, different game, more three-point shots for LeBron, softer defense, sometimes no defense, and LeBron begging other players to be on his team so he could win. Sounds like a schoolyard thing. Hey, please pick me. Please pick me. We'll win. We'll play 3-on-3 and you'll pick me at recess on the playground. That's LeBron James. That's what he did to the NBA. Now you can't even exist unless you have 2 or 3 big names. Michael Jordan's era had a superstar or 2 on every single team. And there was no teaming up. There was no negotiating with one another as players and going to owners and saying, this is what we want. No. There was competition. Way different era. Way different ground rules. Can we finally end this debate? Is this debate over now? For anybody who wants to come in and say LeBron's better, could we just finally stop it? Statistically, he has the points, and that's what he is going to rely on. So when LeBron James goes to bed at night, he's going to think, well, I am the greatest ever. I have the most points ever. I have all these records. I've played for so many years. Little does he realize that the game itself has changed, and a lot of it has changed business-wise because of him. It's because of his whining and crying that the NBA now requires 2 or 3 superstars in one team. And it's actually because of his whining and crying that the game's gotten softer. Begging for foul calls. Or traveling with the basketball just for fun. No defense. I mean, the game has gotten so much worse, and it's hard for me to even watch 10 minutes of a basketball game. No joke. I remember growing up watching competitive basketball, and I didn't even watch Michael Jordan play. And I still remember the game was good. It was still a good product. But the minute that LeBron James went to Miami, for some reason, everything just collapsed. Because even the Celtics, with their big 3, Garnett and Ray Allen, Paul Pierce, for some reason, the NBA was still pretty even. I mean, the Bulls played that big 3 to nearly elimination in round 1 of the NBA playoffs in 2008, 2009. It was close. Derrick Rose, kind of a youngster, rookie, they played to Game 7. It was competitive. And you thought for a minute, hey, this team is good, but it's not a big 3. But when you team up LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh and put them on one team, that was era-changing. It changed the entire trajectory of basketball. And that's why I believe, in my opinion, although everyone's a Hall of Famer in basketball, certainly LeBron James is, obviously for the records and for the recognition, but how about off the court? I mean, he did change the game. He really changed the game. To something we've never seen before. He made it worse, but nevertheless, he did change it. He did do it. Got to give him credit. But is he the best player of all time because of this record? Hell no. And you'll get statistical nerds, even like myself, who may try to argue that, right? People like me, but I'm against people like me for this one. It doesn't make any sense. The game is different. The era is different. What Michael Jordan did in his time was amazing. Shot less three-point shots on average. 2 more less on average. Averaged more points than LeBron did ever throughout his entire career. Missed a couple of seasons due to retirement. And played in an era that was so tough defensively. Today, if Michael Jordan played, he would literally quit the game because it'd be too easy. That's my stance, in my opinion. He would quit the game because it'd be too easy today. So, no, LeBron is not the GOAT, and I really hope that nobody starts to say that, although I will say, you know it's going to be coming. So, refer them to this video if anybody has any questions.